What if everything you've been taught about power was wrong? What if mastery didn't come from conquering, but from surrendering? We live in a world obsessed with force. Push harder, do more, take control. But over 2,500 years ago, a quiet sage stepped away from society and whispered a different truth. That the strongest force in nature is the one that yields. His name was Lao Tzu, and his wisdom is not about withdrawal. It's about flowing with the currents of life, rather than drowning trying to resist them. In this journey, we'll uncover the quiet power of non-resistance. We'll explore how letting go is not weakness, it's mastery. Let the world chase control. You'll learn to flow. Most people live their lives trying to grip the world with both hands. They believe that if they just plan more, do more, dominate more, they'll finally feel secure, finally feel in charge. But here's the trap. The tighter you grip, the more life slips through your fingers. Lao Tzu saw this clearly. He wrote, "He who tries to control everything loses everything. Look around. The person desperate for love often chokes it. The one obsessed with success burns out chasing shadows. The one addicted to certainty finds only anxiety. Control is seductive, but it's an illusion, because everything you try to possess ends up possessing you. That's the trap we must see through before we can escape it. Beneath the surface of every need to control is fear. Fear of being abandoned, fear of losing status, fear of not being good enough. The mind says, if I can control everything, I won't be hurt. But this only builds a prison. Lao Tzu whispers something different. If you let yourself be blown to and fro, you lose touch with your root. If you let restlessness move you, you lose touch with who you are. The more we fear losing love, the more we cling and push it away. The more we fear failure, the more we fight and create it. Fear tricks us into micromanaging life. But life was never meant to be micromanaged. It was meant to be danced with. And only when we see that fear is steering the wheel can we take it back. At some point, we awaken. We realize that the tighter we grip, the more we lose. That love isn't something we can cage. That peace isn't found in control. It's found in trust. This is the Tao, the path of yielding without breaking, of being strong by being soft. Imagine loving someone without needing to change them. Imagine standing beside them, not in front of them, not pulling, not pushing, just being with them. This is not weakness. This is the highest kind of strength. As the Tao Te Ching says, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. In love, that means let go of trying to own someone and watch the connection deepen. Let go of trying to be understood and discover a new kind of understanding. This is not giving up. This is waking up. Just when we begin to open our hands, the ego panics. It whispers, if you don't hold on, you'll lose them. If you don't correct them, they'll drift away. If you don't protect your place, you'll be left behind. But love is not a battlefield. And the one you love is not the enemy. The enemy is fear. Fear of loss. Fear of not being enough. Fear that if you stop grasping, you'll disappear. This fear breeds resentment, possessiveness, jealousy. It transforms love into a prison, We try to script their every move, monitor their every word. Control becomes a substitute for intimacy. But in that moment, we're no longer loving them. We're loving the idea of them and the comfort that idea gives us. The resistance is real, and it's inside you. You can feel it. The pull to dominate, to fix, to mold. But that pull doesn't come from strength. It comes from fear dressed as care. Love, in its highest form, is not about control. It's about presence. A steady, grounded presence that says, I am here, not to bind you, but to witness your becoming. What if we let go of the urge to fix? What if we stopped measuring love by what we receive and began measuring it by how freely we give? Real love doesn't shrink others to fit our needs. It expands to hold their contradictions. It listens more than it explains. It holds space, not chains. The Stoics remind us, we don't control others. We only control how we show up, with virtue, with clarity, with courage. So we become the calm in the storm, the steady flame in the dark, the one who loves, not for possession, but for the sheer joy of witnessing another soul unfold. That is not weakness. That is power. The power to love without fear and to lose without losing yourself. Why does this matter? Why talk about love in an age of chaos and speed? Because how we love mirrors how we live. If our love is possessive, so is our politics. If our love is conditional, so is our justice. If our love is fearful, so is our future. But imagine a world where love isn't a transaction, but a practice, a daily discipline of patience, courage, and letting go. This is not just personal growth. It's civilizational healing. Because every time we choose love without control, we weaken the systems built on fear. The Stoics envisioned a cosmopolis, a world city, where we are all citizens not by blood, but by reason and virtue. And at the center of that vision is love, not as sentiment, but as the glue that holds humanity together. You loving clearly, without fear. You are part of that great unfolding, a ripple, a revolution. Let go. That's what love, at its highest, asks of us. Not to clutch, not to cage, but to stand beside someone and not above them. To love is not to possess. To love is to witness, to hold space for another's becoming, even when it takes them away from us. This is not weakness. This is power of the rarest kind. The kind that transforms not only your relationships, but the person you are becoming. So, the next time you feel that urge to control, to tighten your grip, pause and ask, what would love do if it weren't afraid? If this message touched something deep in you, share it. Let the ripple continue. And subscribe. Because next we walk with the Buddha. Into silence, into truth, into a love that transcends even the self. Until then, walk gently and love bravely.